Evening, folks. Welcome back. This is John Pettipas doing recording at 25 minutes past 7 o'clock in the evening on the evening of Tuesday, the 25th day of May. Welcome back, everybody. I've never been politically correct. That's not my style. I will not slander, but I'll speak the truth. I will never sacrifice my editorial objectivity to the altar of political correctness. Okay? My mantra is, I tell it as I see it. I can't say tell it as it is, because it would give me the gift of prophecy, which I'm not a prophet by any means. But I tell it as I see it, as John Pettipas sees it. I tell it as I see it. Lots of interesting videos, and never a dull moment. And this evening's going to be no different. This evening, the title of my video is Our Wonderful Syrian Refugees, and they are wonderful, and religious freedom. Now, in the schools, they have now, and I know a Muslim friend, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he loves cats, he prays 5 times a day, he's kind and good to his wife and family. What's not to like about the guy? Wonderful. And so that the Muslim faith, they face towards Mecca and pray 5 times a day. And that's wonderful. And they're doing it in the school, and they have every right to do it in the school. This is my opening statement. These people have gone through hell to get here. And we're all the nation. The native Indians, and they were probably shown around the cave dwellers. Cavemen were here first, and Indians come across from Asia, across the Barren Sea, whatever, boats, Polynesians and South Americans spread up. And then the natives showed the pilgrims how to survive the first winter. The natives helped the Frenchmen and early sailors with against scurvy, little berries, the little tea berries you get off the very high source of vitamin C. And the early French settlers, Pierre Benoit Tracadie, helped out stranded shipwreck survivors. So that's a part of the story of humanity. We help people. So the Syrian refugees they've gone through hell to get here. I've known of one instance now where I know many of them. There's a Palestinian lady, wonderful Libyan lady, a lot of Syrians. Lebanese I've known for years, Syrians from before that weren't refugees. And these people, I'm going to relate one thing, so I keep focusing on this. One gentleman had a business in Damascus, Syria. The city was bombed, shit in the part of the city was. He escaped into Jordan, and he stayed in a tent, an army tent, and Dust is a big problem. It's cold in December and January. It can get snow occasionally, not like we know in Nova Scotia, northern states, but it's dust. Dust is like, it's just, the wind never stops howling. It's howling in the heat of the day. In a tent, and they got some pallets. They took the pallets and some pieces of plywood they got, and they stapled them, nailed them together, made an addition on a tent, and got some metal they got out of something they salvaged, and made a piece. And then that gentleman spent 7 years in a refugee camp with his wife and 4 children and his elderly mother. And they now live in this town, and he took what job he could get. And you just got to admire him. You got to salute him. He took the job as available, and he's working very hard, and they're fine, upright members of the community. So these people have every right to have their call to prayer during the day in school. That's wonderful. But I'm calling out tonight hypocrisy. The hypocrisy of one Justin Trudeau, the Trudeau government in Ottawa. This is built as a Christian country, and people can be Baha'i or Hindu or Jewish, the synagogues, or the mosque, and that's wonderful. 2 Catholic churches, and there's a third one probably coming up. It'll be sold like a mosque. That's wonderful. The people consolidate in the churches, and Muslim friends can buy them and convert them. Excellent. They keep the buildings up, and they're wonderful. They're wonderful. And so I take nothing wrong with that. But the hypocrisy of Trudeau, the hypocrisy of the Trudeau government, the hypocrisy of the school board of right here in Nova Scotia. Right in Nova Scotia. When I went to school, I'm not that old, we had religious class. You'd have the 10 Commandments. and you had religion, God, sin, salvation, forgiveness. So I'm going to repeat that. God, sin, forgiveness, salvation, the hereafter. Okay? No, you can't have the 10 Commandments in school now. You can't have any songs that mention God in it. What a bunch of BS crap. Okay? It's just wrong. Now, in Newfoundland, province of Newfoundland, they have and have had all winter and spring, do have now, had last Sunday and the Sunday before, it'll have this Sunday, and the next Sunday, the first Sunday in June, they have church. There's a limit number 10, I think it's almost 50 or 100 over there, and then it depends on up to 50% of capacity of the church. Some of the baymen, the smaller areas, the smaller churches. Now, I didn't learn this this afternoon. In New Brunswick, they have the great province of New Brunswick. They have our neighboring province just west of us. They have church. They've had church in the end of March and through April, in May. And there's a limit there of 50 per person, or 50 in the smaller churches, and because a lot of Protestant churches in smaller rural areas, I was speaking to a farming community, bigger churches, it's 50% of the seating capacity of the church, cathedral, meeting house, whatever. Okay? So the hypocrisy of the Trudeau government and right here in Nova Scotia, the school board. Again, the Muslims, the dear Syrian refugees and Palestinians and Libyans and Lebanese, of course Lebanese are Christian and Muslim, okay, they take, they're not all Christian for sure, they're not all Muslim, but they have every right to practice religion. But we should have religion too. You know, Catholics in this province of Nova Scotia, anybody knows a thing or two about history. I may have grade 9, but as Brian Chink said, I sarcastically wittily told him one day, talking on the phone, I said, I read at a grade 12 level. And he replied back, he went to business school in Charlottetown, and parents sent him there, and he's a fine, smart fellow. And Brian said, John, at least. That's kind of a compliment. And so anyway, Catholics in this province were discriminated against from the 17, 18, in the late, after Confederation even. It wasn't really in the 18th century, almost the 19th century. There's a town not too far from here, in a neighboring county, good-sized town, one of the bigger towns in Nova Scotia, not a city, that there was wards. That town's divided into wards. And there was only one ward in that town, in Pictou County, that a Catholic was allowed to run for council in, and I'm not against Pictou, they're wonderful people, God bless their heart, and I'm not against Protestants. I have a Presbyterian minister, there's a fundamentalist Calvinist streak in John Pettipas, and it comes back my mother's side, there's a Presbyterian minister, okay, and so I respect the born-agains and the fundamentalists, and would all respect. Anyway, there was one ward in New Glasgow you were allowed to have a Catholic run, with the understanding that in the man or woman couldn't run for mayor of the town. That goes back in the late 50s, early 60s. I'm not talking back when before electricity or telephones. Okay, so Catholics know what it's like to be discriminated against. And now, but it's wrong, that there's church in New Brunswick for all faiths. It can be the Muslims, it can be the Baha'i, it can be the Hindus, the born-agains, the Catholics, Jewish people of Jewish faith, wonderful Jewish friends, and the same in Newfoundland. And we don't have church in Nova Scotia. It's wrong. If the bishop's too dumb here to open his mouth, political correct little think thin from Ontario. Look, this is John Pettipas. John P. Pettipas Trackery telling the school board of this province that churches should be open in Nova Scotia. And you should have the 10 Commandments in the school. And you should teach religion in the school. Even if it's only 15, 20 minutes, a half hour in the morning. Or 3 class periods a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can work something out. So the hypocrisy of the Trudeau government and the Nova Scotia School Board. So the title of the video is Our Wonderful Syrian Refugees and Religious Freedom. Religious freedom should apply to everybody. I want you to promote a discussion about this. Share this video far and wide. Again, my mantra is, I tell it as I see it. Lots of interesting videos and never a dull moment. And I don't think I disappoint anybody this evening. With that, I got to wrap this up. It's about 27 minutes before 8 o'clock in the evening on evening of Tuesday night. Beautiful evening, the 25th day of May. Till next, and please subscribe. Share it far and wide. Subscribe. Till next time, wish each and every one of you all the best. And God bless. Thank you very much. Bye for now.